Hey everyone, welcome back to Your Nifty Guy. I hope all of you are doing well. The market's gearing up for a brand new week, and Monday could really set the tone for what's coming next. In this video, we'll break down how Friday's session shaped up, the key zones to watch, and how we can plan our trades smartly right from the first day. We'll also look at different opening scenarios, whether the market starts flat, gaps up, or gives a quick pullback, and how to take the best trades out of them. If you find these daily trade plans helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on the bell icon so that you don't miss out any of the upcoming videos. Now let's jump straight into the charts. Now Friday again, unfortunately, was a no trading day for me. Number one, nothing formed as per my setup. And number two, market has been moving uh, in a sideways zone for now, still in a sideways zone. I'll quickly get the drawings back right. So I'll tell you what was going on in my mind. So markets opened flattish, went up immediately. Now the plan was to short the markets around these levels, somewhere around these levels. Markets took a rejection from almost these levels, but had this pullback been a little more, bit more deeper, a beautiful short could have been initiated around here, right? But then because this was not a valid pullback for me, now some people might have uh, taken this as a valid pullback, but then this wasn't a good enough pullback for me, and that is the reason why I did not trade this particular setup. Now, at the start of the day, the trap setup had also formed in, right? I was also discussing the same with Siddesh from the community. On the 5 minutes chart, if you see the markets went back below previous day's low, and then the high of that candle got taken out, and look at the momentum that the market got, right? But then I again did not take this trade because the setup did not form perfectly for me on a 5 minutes chart. For the setup to be a high probabilistic one, I needed the markets to give me a closing below this, right? Showing me bearishness. But this candle also showed buying in the same time frame. Now, what is important to see is if you zoom out, sorry, if you zoom in, you go on a 1 minute time frame, you will see that the setup is exactly what I keep talking about on as a trade setup, which is there. Markets opened flat, went down, closed below prior day low, which showed that okay, there are sellers who have entered the markets, and as soon as the high of this candle get got taken out, look at the momentum on the upside. Now, I do not advise any beginners to trade on a minute time frame. And off late, even I have not been trading on a 1 minute time frame. I have been focusing only on the 5 minutes time frame. It cuts the noise out. So that was the reason why I did not take part in this particular trade because on a 5 minutes time frame, if you look carefully, the markets did not give us a closing below the previous day low, right? But then again, nonetheless, I hope the setup is clear and what is going on behind the scenes, how to read the charts, what exactly is happening, why are we taking this particular trade? The concept is clear, right? Because if the concept is clear, the next time, even if I do not mention a trap setup like this in the video prepping for the next day and you spot something like this, you know that what you have to do, right? So again, this was the first trade that could have been taken in the day. I had planned voluntarily not to trade in the first half of the day because I again had my dentist appointment. There are three more sittings left for my teeth to get completely repaired. So that was the reason. The second sitting was on Friday, and I did not voluntarily decided not take part in the trading in the first half because from 10:30 till around noon I would have been tied up with the doctor. But then again, nonetheless, I was observing the markets and. This was trade number one that could have been taken had markets given us a closing below this. This was trade number two, which could have been taken had market given us a valid, decent pullback, right? But then again, rules are very, very supreme, and you should not you should not break your rules for anything. If the setup is looking uh, like happening and it does not happen, like around here, the setup was looking very beautiful. It was approaching a resistance zone, gave a pull, gave a fall from there. All we needed was another pullback, and then we could have shorted the markets below this. But then again, if that is not happening, do not rush into trades, because that can just be a pullback, and then markets can continue further up if it has to, right? Because the first rule, like I always say, is anything can happen in the markets, and you have to be prepared for each and every scenario, each and everything, and then you have to keep in mind your risk reward into the mind at all times, right? Now, post this particular move which came in, we also got a closing below previous day's low, below which we were looking to short the markets. Now, this could have been a trade as per our setup, right? What we had discussed yesterday, that we are trying to short the markets below this. But then again, look at, I always tell you guys also, look at from where the market is coming from, right? The market has, from the top, from 25,950, had already traveled to below 800, right? A move of 150 plus points, I assume. Yeah, 165 points, right? So markets has already moved so much. Although it is now below the zone below which we had planned to short the markets, but then it was, like I always say, a lot of it also depends on the opening. So had markets after opening around hit these levels, went down, gave us a pullback, went down, this would have been the right trade to trade this particular scenario that we had discussed, right? But then look at from where the market is coming in. Now the probability of it going way further down below gets reduced. So that was the reason why I did not short the markets around here. I suggested everybody to not short the markets around here. And at this point of time, what do we do is we draw this particular level. So this is nothing but the fib levels of this entire down move which came in, right? So roughly, I had drawn this particular levels on the phone because I was at the dentist when this was happening, and this is the down move which came in, and all we wanted was a negative price action around these zones. So had markets come back up around here, given some negative price action, we could have shorted the markets. But then again, that did not happen, and market went sideways for some time, formed a triangle consolidation, broke down again went sideways, and then ul- ultimately giving us a closing near the lower end of the range in which the markets are trading. Right now, we don't even need this. We'll start with the. So I hope the entire market or the price structure or price action of Friday is clear. And although market is moving down since the last couple of days, but then it is not forming clean setups, right? There is a lot of noise, there's a lot of volatility, no clear structure is there. And that is the reason why I do not want to get stuck in this. And that is the same thing which I'm suggesting to all of you. Please be very, very careful. Now, the closing of today's market is extremely, extremely important. Friday's market, right? And it is going to set the tone for the upcoming trades. Now, in my opinion, we might be getting some good trades. There's a 50-50 probability. I'll be jumping to that shortly. But then, just because we have also closed a monthly candle, will also start the uh, analysis from our monthly charts. So, on a monthly chart, Nifty has managed to give us a closing above this particular zone as well. So monthly candle is, of course, the October month candle is a very good positive candle from the start of October. Markets have moved up a lot. And it's a good thing that we have seen some closing above this particular swing, which was the last major swing. And we can consider this as a minor profit booking on the monthly charts. So as of now, monthly chart looks good. On the weekly, again, the last 2 weeks of October has not been too great. Starting was good, but then the last 2 weeks have not been extremely great. This looks like a negative price action, but then again, we will follow where the market leads us. We're not going to predict what is going to happen, so that is something that we'll keep in mind. On a weekly time frame, the charts do not look too good to me. On a daily time frame, this is the double top that I have been speaking about. So I'll quickly just draw it out for you guys. And it is now near the breakdown levels, right? If you can clearly see, we have formed a double top-ish formation. So this is the daily time frame. Fib level still intact. Yes, I believe so. Yes, these are the major highs which has been there. So we'll still keep them on the chart. If we consider the weekly fib levels, the support area also comes in a bit lower. But then again, the main point to understand is these were the two zones that we had marked, right? In between which the market was trading for the last many days. Now we have got a closing near the lows of the market, but that does not mean that the double top is complete and now we are for sure short going down. So this is something wherein we have to be extremely careful, right? So for Monday, my trade plan will be very simple. Number one trade, again, if we are to spend some more time in this consolidation area, even though we have closed around here, try to understand a scenario which is playing out, right? So this is just a story that I'm building for you guys. Markets have closed near the day's low. I can see the double top. You can see the double top. So many other traders can see the double top, right? What if this is just a trap? Markets gives us a starts. Again, we get this particular setup, and then the high gets taken out. So this is the only scenario in which I am willing to play a long entry in the markets on Monday. We are near, and this is not just a previous day low breakdown. Try to understand this is a double top support area or the neckline of the double top on a daily time frame. So if the market goes down below this, and then the high of that candle gets taken out, it is going to be a good scalping trade on the long side. On the short side, of course, below this is what we can plan. Now, this is the daily time frame support area. So in case if we are in a short trade, we got to be careful once the price action approaches this area. Around this, if we get any positive price action, we can plan a long entry. Needless to say, below this we are short. This is not for Monday, but then for days to come in. If this particular setup comes in, if we are finally breaking out of the sideways consolidation and the market has decided its path and we are going down, so we will be ultimately with price action will be reaching around here, and this is what is there in store. So this is not for Monday. I'll just delete this. I'll not keep this on the charts. It will be simply can be confusing people. Now, on higher time frames, for us to go long, let us, right? Yeah, this looks good. Which also happens to be this, and this zone will definitely be acting as a resistance once we approach. So around these levels, if we open with a gap up, say for example, we open with a gap up and then we are, sorry, it was drawn on a high time frame, looks confusing. If we open with a gap up, we approach these levels. This is where again we can see some selling from based on price action. So, right, everything is based on price action. We will look for a long entry only and only above this. Right, so these are all the possible scenarios which can play out on Monday. Monday will be the price action which will be forming on Monday will be extremely important. So guys, pay attention to that. So we'll keep it simple. We'll take one day at a time and then play it safe. So, and that's the trade plan for Monday. Remember, stay patient, wait for price to come to your levels, and trade only when you get clear confirmation. I always say this, let the markets commit to you before you commit to the market. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, share, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to hear how you are planning your trades for the day. I'll see you in Monday's video. Till then, trade safe and stay disciplined. Cheers and thanks for tuning in.